Welcome, everyone, to the Snow Horse Marketing Podcast. I'm very excited today because we have Barella here. She is a consumer products marketing consultant and strategist, and currently is the CEO of BLK Alchemy, a plant-based body care and sensual wellness brand. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, how are you?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I know we were talking a little bit earlier. I know we've talked a couple times this week, so I'm so excited to have you here. About your journey. Like, you've been through so much in your career. You've worked with so many different brands. And I know you worked in the pharmaceutical world, doing marketing and advertising in that world and targeting there. And then you've kind of made this shift over into the health products world. I just wonder if you could just start us off sharing what your experience has been in marketing and pharmaceutical versus like the health sector.
Sure, yeah. So I started my marketing career in the beauty industry, actually. So working for a bunch of skincare, hair care, nail care brands, doing all aspects of marketing, retail marketing, all aspects of branding, packaging, promotional development, experiential. And I ended up getting burnt out a little bit and wanting to really focus more on products and projects and brands that were actually creating products that were healthy for people and that were sending positive messages, particularly to women and girls about beauty and self-worth. So I ended up getting my MBA in sustainability in 2019. Shortly after that, I was summoned to join a project. It was an HIV project. It was a launch of the latest PrEP drug. And the pharmaceutical company, the ViiV Healthcare, so the Aptitude launch, they realized that they were not effectively speaking to high-risk groups. So that would be cisgender, heterosexual women of color, the transgender community, and queer men of color. So my team was tasked with helping them communicate with them. And in that process, one of my colleagues on that project was a woman who was very deep into the sexual wellness and reproductive health space, which again was new to me. I fell in love with that space, just like doing the research and just finding out, the ways in which women and the trans community and people of color engage with the healthcare system. Which is very complicated. We're still fighting for universal health care, and it's expensive and it's difficult to navigate for anyone.
That's so wonderful that you've had such a breadth of experience. So as you're going into this world, I'm sure that really has informed you of how to make decisions. I know there's a lot about what you're doing now that it's about health. It's about having good, healthy products that are available to these demographics that you're targeting. Can you tell me a little bit about the process that you and your business partner went through in decision making and how you decide like what types of products that you want to promote out there, how you want to position the products, etc.?
Right. Well, before we even got into hiring anyone to help us, she and I got really clear on what our objective was for the brand, what our mission was, who we were targeting, and what we wanted to do, what we wanted to communicate in the community that we wanted to build. So we had to get clear on that. Secondly, when I was vetting manufacturers, I wanted to make it clear to them that the ingredients had to be 100% non-toxic, and the ingredients had to be safe for people's bodies and also safe for the environment. Again, with my business partner, I had to tell her, this is going to be more expensive. It's more expensive to do it right. It's much cheaper to use toxic ingredients. It's much cheaper to use chemicals. It's much cheaper to use artificial fragrances. But that's not what I wanted to do. It's also much cheaper to use plastic components, but it's not good for the integrity of the product, and it's not good for the environment. So, there's some costs implications that come with trying to do it right. But the way we offset that is, number one, we wanted to position ourselves as a premium brand, a premium and clean brand. And so that customer, that conscious customer who's, most likely affluent, is actually willing to pay, $5, $10, even $20 more for something that is premium, that was well thought out and intentional. And so that's who we're targeting. You know, anyone that doesn't really care about, you know, the ingredients of a product, or if it's in plastic, you know, she's not our girl, and that's okay. You know, and so, you know, all of that decision making was very intentional.
Oh, I love that. And I feel like, you know, as a fellow marketer, and I know you have so much experience in branding, value is so important. And so many businesses like undersell that. I feel like it's so important. I love how even in the packaging, like you're doing the little pouches and the glass bottles, like even how your packaging is communicating that value to the customer. I feel so many business owners, especially when it comes to products in the health world, sometimes they want to do what is the most healthy, but then they forget the packaging piece, right? We want to have that packaging piece also communicate the value of what this is. I remember once I was working with someone who she made these amazing soap bars, like incredible soap bars, but then she just broke them off. They just broke off into pieces, just the way it was done, and it just looked messy.
Yeah.
And I remember as she decided, she's like, I want to put these in a little cotton bag, like probably similar to what you do. And all of a sudden her sales went through the chart. She got more referral. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Cute.
just something like that
Yeah.
makes such a big difference.
Yes.
And in being able to communicate value to a customer. So I know as you have really prioritized the health of your clients, and you know, we at Snow Horse Marketing, our goal, we work with businesses that are doing good in the world. And there is a huge influx of businesses like yours that are making the healthy choice for their
Yes.
clients. Like what would you recommend to other businesses like my soap friend or other businesses that you come across in communicating the value through packaging, through choosing the products? What has been your experience with that?
Well, my experience is you have to be really clear on who you're targeting. And you know, just because everybody uses soap and shampoo and lotion, you know, doesn't mean that your brand is going to appeal to everyone. So you really want to target the people who care about these things, and then also take the time to communicate your values at every touch point. So for instance, on our packaging, we have, you know, please recycle, there is no planet B. And we have similar messages, you know, on our website, in our blogs, like all, you know, all areas of communication where you're going to come in contact with the brand, you're going to learn those values. In addition to running our brand, I'm also a consultant, and I worked with the brand on a repackaging. It's a hair care brand. It's a one woman show. She's wonderful. The brand is called The Refig. And she had an autoimmune disease and decided to change her diet, and she ended up getting well. And then she started to investigate not only you know, how to eat better, but also, you know, the products that she was putting on her skin and hair, and just doing research to find out like what ingredients she should stay away from. And so she decided to come up with this line of non-toxic, super hydrating and effective shampoo and styling products that are in the bar form. And, you know, she was struggling with communicating like the value of using a bar versus the shampoo bottle. And so what I helped her with was, number one, like reshaping the bar, because they were, you know, squares before. And now she reshaped them to be a circle. And in the center of a circle, she has a ribbon attached, because, you know, one issue that she was having was that because the product wasn't in a bottle where you have that real estate to say, you know, the ingredients and the product name and all their information, somebody takes something out of a box, they throw away the box. That's going to happen. And then they've just got this bar in their shower, and they don't know which is the shampoo. They know which is the conditioner. And now with the name of the product and the product type on the actual ribbon, you're saving product because it's not, you know, sitting on a tray. And you know what it is. And so that's an example of like how you can kind of, you know, get creative and innovative with the product itself and also the packaging. So, you know, it takes some innovation. It takes taking some time and really thinking through what it is that you want to do differently. And the companies that win are the companies that innovate. So you're going to have to innovate anyway. So you might as well innovate on things that matter. So value, and in her case, I said to her, because originally she had on her website, you know, one bar is equivalent to, 32 ounces of shampoo or whatever it was. And I had to tell her, I said, people don't buy shampoo based on ounces. So that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? So you have to say equivalent to 2 bottles of shampoo. That's it. People can get that. They're like, 1 bar is 2 bottles of shampoo. Got it. You know what I mean? You have to communicate with people. This is going to be more effective because most shampoos, when you look at the first ingredient, it's water. So that's what you're paying for. You're paying for this plastic, water, and a little bit of product at the end of the day. So a bar product is going to be more effective because it's waterless. That's just what's going to be the case, right? And so, it takes thinking outside the box. It might take a little more time. It might take a little more money. It might take a little more legwork to find the partners, the suppliers who are able to do what you want to do, but it's worth it in the end, because the customer that's looking for you, that conscious consumer who is going to pay the extra dollar, who is going to go out of her way to find that product that she feels safe to use for herself and her children, it's going to be worth it to them. And they're going to be loyal, and they're going to tell everybody they know to buy your product.
Well, and I feel like when you're able to communicate value,
yes.
Price becomes less of a discussion, because even, as you're discussing how much water versus a bottle, like, it's cost effective, even though it may cost more. And I feel so many people, or like even with you, with your products, because of the way that they're made, people are less likely to have health issues.
Yes.
So they're going to save money going to the doctor because they're using a healthier product.
Yes.
And I feel like there's a value shift happening, especially like with millennial and Gen Z purchasers, especially. Yes. They are just really focused on the highest quality for their dollar, more than quantity. And so that shift has really happened in the marketplace, at least in what I've witnessed.
Yes. Well, again, and you hear this all the time in the apparel industry, right? What is the true cost of that $5 t-shirt? If it was made by someone who is enslaved, if it was made in a plant where, the people aren't being paid a living wage, and, they're exposed to chemicals, and then there's chemical runoff into the surrounding environment, that what is the true cost of that cheap shampoo that has ingredients that, may be cancerous or may impact your reproductive health. I think not being able to have a baby because you use some product because you wanted to save $5 isn't really worth it. You know what I mean? And so a part of this process is communicating that value at every touch point and being really clear and concise. These are the ingredients that we choose because these are the benefits to your body, and they come from the earth. And particularly, with BLK Alchemy, these are ingredients, murmur butter. We use vegan squalene that's not derived from shark fin, but derived from olives. These grapeseed oil, chia seed oil, these are ingredients that indigenous and Black and brown people have been using for centuries to treat their skin and hair. Proven time and time again to keep your skin nourished and healthy and soft. And then that way you're not, going and getting Botox because you're protecting your skin. You know what I mean? So when people really kind of step back and look at the true cost, it makes sense. And the value speaks for itself.
Yeah, I know. I've worked with a lot of organizations in African countries. And as I've gone through that, a lot of them, when they're in the US, they can't find products. Like, they can't find I remember, I'm out in Utah, so it's even worse out here. Like, they could not find anything. I remember we had to go to several stores. Eventually we had to go onto Amazon. And I'll tell you what, I've learned more from this group of people that I've worked with about my own health and what products to use and what oils to use, what lotions to use for my own body, than I ever have from any like consumer product I grew up with.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's such a huge knowledge, a learning curve that's happening right now with the world being so connected. I mean, Facebook kind of went out there and they wanted the world connected, and that's happened. I mean, through multiple sources now. And we are learning so much. It's becoming so much easier to get access to what is healthy. It's becoming so much more accessible. I mean, we work with a lot of Shopify businesses. I cannot tell you how many businesses in the United States, they're manufacturing here in the US, or they're or they're assembling here in the US, they're packaging here in the US, and they're distributing healthy products and
Yes.
services. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
For it as well. We manufacture our products in Texas and California. And I'm so proud to say that, and we were very intentional in selecting those producers. They knew how important it was to, keep toxic ingredients out of our product. I gave them a list of ingredients. These are no's. Don't send me a formula that has any of these ingredients because I'm going to reject it. So don't even waste your time, and I would say that even we have all of these retailers that are dedicated to only selling products that have safe ingredients. And it's the landscape of brands that are available, and retailers like Credo Beauty, which probably has the most stringent sustainability guidelines of all the retailers, big and small. So many more brands and retailers today than even 10 years ago and 20 years ago. Forget about it, So I think consumers have more access to information, to brands. There are apps now that you can, take a product and hold up the ingredient list to an app, and it will scan it in real time and give you a rating. It will say this product is safe. This product is so-so, this product has an allergen, and something might be an allergen for someone else and not you. It doesn't mean that it's toxic per se, but it has been known to cause allergic reactions for people that are allergic to it, right? If you're not allergic to it, it may not affect you, but just having that information at your fingertips is huge, and people are able to make better decisions.
Oh, I 100% agree. Well, I am so excited to have you here and so grateful that you were able to join us for our podcast today. Any last tidbits that you'd like to give our listeners if they are going on this journey of providing health and value for their customers?
Yes, I think that, use the internet to your advantage. It's free, do your research. There are really great products out there. Amazon has a ton. There are a ton of retailers, that offer safe products. Make good decisions. Don't just look at the price and say, oh, that's too expensive. There are very expensive products, but there are, lower and mid-priced products that are really healthy, and support those brands because we want it to be the norm. And the way that it becomes the norm, I really do believe that the real shift in sustainability and climate action is going to come from brands and private sector. And that's going to be driven by the decisions that consumers make. So we have a lot of power as consumers. And I want people to really remember that. And to support these brands who are trying to do the right thing so that they can grow, so that they can scale, so that they can inspire other emerging brands to leave out these ingredients from the first place, and then they don't have to shift and do a whole bunch of changes after they've already poisoned everyone. So that would be my message to consumers, my message to brands and business leaders, to go for it. Don't be afraid. That customer is out there. Do the right thing. That customer is out there, and you will win.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thanks so much for being here today,
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.